All right, I'm here again, another weekly reading from me, Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa. Hopefully, you are all having a wonderful weekend and had a great Halloween. I am here in Belize for my last day here. Super excited to share even more energy from this beautiful sacred land with you as we tap into the energy of this week coming up. Lots of things to talk about, lots of things to explore together. So go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from and how you're doing this week as we begin to tap into this energy. We're going to be covering November 3rd to November 10th and really expressing ourselves spiritually in a lot of ways through this energy this week. So before we get involved in all of that, let's go ahead and do a little review of last week, all of the cards that we pulled last week while I was here as well, and see what we are going to move into from there. So last week we had the Scorpio moon, the Scorpio new moon. It was beautiful. We had a wonderful energy with Scorpio, that water sign, and a lot of mystery and excitement to go into the unseen world and feel all of the subtle energies that our intuition is ready to pick up on. We had the Dream Talk card for the moon card for last week. So we had a lot of dreams, a lot of messages and symbolism in our dreams, lots of connection there. And then for the beginning of the week, we had Dance of the Butterfly Queen, encouraging us to transform positively through patience and growth and knowing that everything is in divine timing as we unfold in our spiritual expansion together. And then in the middle of the week, we had the Truth and Integrity card, encouraging us to speak our truth, to do the right thing, to do what we say we're going to do, and follow through fully with our manifestations and our spiritual ambitions. And then the end of the week card was the Lady of the Stars, Goddess Isis, coming to us to encourage us to stay connected to our cosmic self and to stay aware of what we want to manifest this week and in the coming weeks. And so we are in that kind of energy right now, since that was the end of the week card. We're in that weekend place, really transforming from where we've been and moving into where we are going to become. And so this week we have a lot of information to talk about. I'm going to first start with my spirit messages. These are all the messages that I receive through downloads and meditations and readings and just experiences that I have throughout the week, letting me know what the energy is going to be like moving forward. So before I do that, let me see how you all are doing. Let's see who's tuned in. We've got a few already joining here. Marie is here. Hello, good afternoon and blessings. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And I'm so glad you saw the photos from the retreat. We had such a good time. Serena is here as well from Tempe, AZ. What's up, Tempe? I used to go to college there, so I know all about Tempe. And she says she's doing amazing. I'm doing well as well. Thank you for asking. The Celestial Heart is here as well. Hi, Rissa. Hope you guys are doing well. We're doing so good. Linda's from Seattle saying, hey, sweet soul family, good to see you. Jazzman is here. What's up, Jazzman? Good to see you. So happy you're tuning in. Marie is also from Tampa, Florida. I love Florida. I've been really feeling the pull towards Florida lately, so I'm so glad you're tuning in from there. And then Tisha's here. Hey, beautiful goddess, so good to be here live. Yes, so good to have you here. Celestial Heart says this week has been intense. I found old patterns that I needed to acknowledge in order to transmute, transform, and grow in new experiences. I'm so proud of you for seeing that and being aware of those patterns and really taking the initiative to transform through them. Eric is here as well. Hello, Eric. Good to see you, and thank you all for tuning in. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by tapping into the spirit messages. So the first spirit message that I got was that the last bit of mystery that we experienced last week is lingering behind the veil. It's still kind of just behind the surface, just beneath the surface there. And things that are left unsorted will work themselves out. So just be patient, observe, and accept that the universe, your higher self, and your spirit are working together to allow things to manifest and to work themselves out. I've been getting a lot of messages on not forcing too many things or not trying to overanalyze things, really allowing ourselves ourselves to just smoothly progress through the way things are unfolding, reminding ourselves of that divine timing message last week, and just remembering that any of those mysteries, any of those unanswered questions or unspoken communications that we may be waiting on will sort themselves out with patience, observation, and acceptance. So give yourself a little bit of time to not force anything, especially since we're in Mercury retrograde. Over analyzing or over communicating things can be misinterpreted very easily right now with the Mercury retrograde. So allow yourself to just give yourself some space, give yourself some time, and wait for it to sort itself out, and then you'll get an intuitive calling or nudge that tells you how to act next. We also have the spirit messages of last week ringing in our heads. A lot of us had a lot of signs and synchronicities, a lot of aha moments and deep downloads of ourself, of our spiritual path, of our experience as we expand spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and physically even. And so all of those spirit messages that we downloaded last week and that we really tapped into are still ringing in our head. They're still so true, and they're still reminding us that it's important to stay dedicated, stay devoted to really following through with the messages that we received last week, making sure that we don't get lazy or ignore the things that we realized about ourselves last week. So stay disciplined in that way, and we're going to have a lot of opportunity from the astrological influences as well that will help us stay in that disciplined and devoted place. Now, we also have some tests that may come up, especially since those spiritual ambitions and realizations came through so intensely last week. There may be tests of the things that you know you need to learn from and grow from and understand. There may be certain things that the universe, your higher self and source kind of put you through in order to make sure that you're really implementing what you have learned and integrating what you have learned. The theme for this reading is integration, because we are really finding ways to learn what we've learned, but fit it into our daily life, fit it into the way in which we perceive things naturally and the way in which we move forward as the unfolding continues. So allow yourself to just be encouraged by those tests and not to get feeling defeated or discouraged from it. Allow yourself to really use those tests as a sign that tells you that this is the opportunity to truly put into work what you've learned about yourself this last week, and know that you have the power to do so, that it is absolutely, you are absolutely capable of it, and the universe is absolutely on your side in that way. So integrating wisdom and learning how to adapt from the 5D consciousness that we have activated this last week, really learning how to adapt that and integrate it into our lives. Some of us are realizing how 3D we have been living, and the 5D consciousness is kind of showing us this awareness about ourselves that we needed. And so it's important not to kind of settle for that 3D experience or that 3D comfort zone, knowing that it can be easy to slip back into old patterns, and we really want to avoid that because we're at the end of the year, we're moving into 2020, and we don't want to take those 3D perceptions, perspectives, patterns, behaviors, emotions with us into 2020. We don't want to take those with us. We want to leave those in 2019. So give yourself that amplification of momentum and motivation to really stand strong in your new 5D consciousness that you have activated. We're all doing this at different levels, at different paces, and in different ways, and we really want ourselves to be kind to ourselves, loving and compassionate as we move through that adapting and integrating. Remember, the 5D is all about love and compassion, light and service, so we want to make sure we're doing that for ourselves as well. We don't want to hold grudges on ourselves or feel guilty or shameful for ways in which we might be slipping into old patterns. Instead, we want to just use that as awareness and reverse that pattern by totally staying committed to our 5D experience and consciousness of self and the world around us. And then we also have a lot of high vibrational experiences, environments, and even communications and company that we have been surrounded by. So we want to use that to our advantage. If you are someone who is used to being the only one in your group of friends or family that knows about energy or knows about consciousness or is disciplined enough to stay focused on expanding your spirit in that way, make sure that you go seek out different meetups, different gatherings, different communities that are 5D, high vibrational, loving and light, compassionate people and environments, so that you can really surround yourself with the right energy. It can be really difficult sometimes when we're the only ones in that energy, and it's important for us to surround ourselves with a loving company of others that understand us and that see us for who we are, and that are excited to grow and expand with us instead of trying to hold us down or keep us from changing who we are into a higher vibrational being. So allow yourself to surround yourself with positive experience, positive environments, positive thoughts, and positive people. This is going to be so pivotal for our experience as we unfold continually into this new year 2020 that we're approaching. There's a lot of energy there for us, and it's important for us to really be strict with how we spend our time and who we spend it with, so that we can make sure we don't slip back into those pressures of the 3D world. And then we also have a lot of intuition right now. We talked a little bit about this last week, about our intuitive gifts really coming to surface, really amplifying and expressing themselves in ways that we haven't experienced before. So if you're feeling that, know that this is also a big part of the way in which you're going to have communications and experiences and relationships and just interactions with others. You're going to notice that any lies or deceit or just people not being all the way straight up with you will show up very clearly to you, especially with that intuitive gifts, those intuitive gifts really raising to a new level. So don't be surprised if you start to feel a little bit like you can tell somebody's not telling you the truth or not telling you everything that you think they want to say. And just trust that energy and start to ask more questions, start to be more curious, start to explore those intuitive gifts and trust them, because this is your higher self's way of showing you what you can use them for and how you can really get good at confirming and validating your own intuition. Like I said, that's another one of those tests, one of those opportunities for you to notice how the energy of last week is affecting you this week and how to use it to your advantage and to others' advantage, especially if you have a friend that's a little bit more shy or a little bit more quiet or afraid to speak out. You might be able to feel into what they're truly wanting to say, and if you allow them and encourage them to say that, then it'll be a really beautiful experience for both of you. So give yourself that opportunity to trust away. And then, of course, we're releasing what doesn't serve us before the new year, 2020. So a lot of us got downloads last week and are going to continue getting downloads this week and the rest of this month in what doesn't serve us anymore, what we are needing to release, what we're ready to let go of so that we can evolve even more once 2020 hits. 2020 is such a impactful year. It's 2020. 20 is a master number, so we are going to be feeling into unity and connection in such a strong way, stronger than we've ever felt it. And it's so important for us to be able to take that unity and connection with us in a positive way by releasing anything that doesn't serve us. We don't want to carry that stuff into 2020, because then we're going to be still merging and connecting with and unifying with duality parts of ourselves that don't really serve us. So we want to let that go so that the only unity we feel is unity for our highest good. And so give yourself that opportunity to maybe journal a little bit about what you want to release, journal a little bit about the synchronicities and signs and the downloads you've gotten about these informations and these intuitive hits, and allowing yourself to really give yourself a chance to see it on paper, to see the bigger picture perspective, and to use that as a way to guide you into the new year, knowing that there are some things that you probably need to work on, as is everybody going through that right now. So give yourself a little bit of a break on that and some kindness and care to understanding that it is a process, but at least if you can write all those things down, you can start to chip away at those things and release what doesn't serve you anymore. So important. And the 2020 New Year is also going to give us a lot of purpose, faith, and connection to our true path as well. So if you're getting some ideas and inspiration about how you want to move forward, what your purpose is, what your new passion is, what you want to explore in the new year, trust that and don't be afraid to jump into that with both feet, because it is a sign from your higher self that you are ready to expand in that way. Now, I also, of course, pulled a monthly card for November all the way back in January when we did the annual card reading for 2019. And the monthly card that I pulled for November is Earth Force. Now, this is so great because that card showed up for me last week as well when I was at the ancient Mayan ruins and exploring the beautiful sacred land of all of these old temples that have been built so long ago. And it was such a great card to pull because it really showed us that, first of all, the earth has a force that we cannot control. It was funny, we were all in this beautiful ancient Mayan land, and then there's just these crazy storms and tons of rain. We could not control the weather, we could not control the environment, we could not control the earth force, but we still were able to surrender to that force of nature and to see the beauty of it in all of its processes and cycles. So this is important for us to carry with us, these kind of messages and knowledge, to carry with us throughout November, because we are connecting with the earth in different ways. We are feeling Mother Gaia just supporting us and showing us the way and rejuvenating our energy, our spirit, our bodies even. I've been eating fully plant-based for 2 weeks. I was a vegan already, but I was a junk food vegan, as I found out quickly after eating way better food for me this last 2 weeks here at Plant-Based Belize Serenity Calm Unity Resort. And so I am so excited to see the way in which my body has responded to a fully plant-based diet that is not junk food vegan, and it feels really good. So if you're feeling that message, if this is resonating with you, I encourage you to look up some plant-based recipes, start cooking for yourself in really activated ways, really bringing a lot of color to your plate, a lot of fresh fruit and fresh vegetables and herbs and spices, and allowing yourself to explore the benefits of plant-based diet, because when we eat in that way, we connect to Mother Gaia in such a deeper way as well. So this month, Earth Force Month, is all about connecting to the Earth Force of Mother Gaia, and also recognizing that we're a bridge. We are human beings, beings of light, but we're also connected to the earth, and just as we are connected to the earth, we are connected to the cosmos as well. So we are a bridge between the cosmos and planet Earth, and we're able to really use ourselves, our vessel, as a way to connect to the cosmos and to stay connected and grounded in Mother Earth. So however that is resonating with you, and however you would like to explore your cosmic self and cosmic consciousness, allow yourself to do so, because it will absolutely reveal some amazing downloads and just experiences for you. I also do cosmic connection readings, so if you're interested in tapping into your galactic family or wanting to know what I pick up on as far as your relation to other galactic beings, then please message me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com or at readingsbyrissa on Instagram for a reading in that way, because it can be a great month to tap into that cosmic connection as well. And then I also got this message spiritually from my guides that it's incredibly important to think before you act this week, and think before you speak, and to use the new consciousness that you have adapted into from this last week to help have those lessons be the judge of your ways of expression. So everything that you learned last week, all of the new consciousness that you felt, allow yourself to really connect to it and to use that as a way to change your expression a bit, to think before you speak, think before you act, and try to adapt some of that new consciousness, those new lessons, those new downloads in your communications. Since we are in Mercury retrograde, and it's an intense one with the Scorpio energy, lots of emotional energies invested in that communication and some of those miscommunications from the Mercury retrograde, allow yourself to use your new consciousness and that meditative quality that we tapped into last month in October to help you speak more clearly and to receive communication more clearly as well. And then it's super important to keep facing your fears. We did a lot of this last week. We faced our fears so much last week by journeying into the unknown, journeying into the mystery, and feeling the thinning of the veil last week, and a little bit this weekend as well. Just that connection between physical world and spiritual world, and feeling the unseen energy. This is so important for us to continue moving into, and to not stop while we're ahead, to really continue facing our fears, I know that I've always had this fear of the dark. When I was a little kid, I was just super afraid of the dark. And I realized as I got older and started to really wake up that my fear of the dark was really rooted in my sensitivity to spirit. And whenever the lights would go out, I could just feel all the spiritual energy around me, and I could feel all of these messages and spirits and experiences that wanted to kind of play with my energy, and I just didn't know what that meant, and it was very scary for me. And so even this week, in the last couple of weeks, me being in Belize here, there's a lot of it's really dark at night. There's just a lot of darkness, not dark energy, but just a lot of nighttime to tap into. And so it was really also a test for me to just be at one with, you know, the night sky and the pitch black dark in my treehouse that I was in, and just enjoy that and start to surrender the fears that I had as a child. And just know that it's okay to release that, because we are overcoming our fears every time we get comfortable in facing it. And so I think it's really important for us to stay committed to that as well. And then we also have the undeniable signs and synchronicities coming in from this week and from last week. So there's going to be continued signs and synchronicities, even the things that we experienced last week, the intense lessons, the intense revelations. We're going to feel more signs and synchronicities validating those experiences this week and for the rest of the month, and possibly the rest of the year. So allowing yourselves to be aware and be observant, and to see things from a bigger picture perspective, so that you can really tap into those undeniable signs and synchronicities. When we see those, we realize that there's no way to doubt our experience. There's no way to doubt the spiritual expansion that we're feeling. There's no way to doubt our intuition. And that can be such a great experience for us to truly feel confident in our intuitive selves and our intuitive gifts. So let yourself see that, journal them out so that you can flip back the pages a couple weeks from now and see, yes, this experience happened and it changed my life, or it validated this choice that I'm making and allowed you to be more disciplined and more focused on the spiritual ambitions that you have moving forward. And so I have a couple of words for each of the aspects of life that we tap into. Of course, these are words that are just came to me intuitively for each aspect of life this week. So let's start with love life. Love life, the intuitive word is peace. Finding peace and finding ways to stay in peace in your love life and loving connections. With the Mercury retrograde and the Scorpio energy, it is absolutely normal for these miscommunications and these kind of misunderstandings to target the love life experience. And so allow yourself to just find peace where you can, and know that it's just temporary. Any miscommunications, any tension or chaos, it's just temporary. So give yourself a way to find inner peace and to find peace in your loving relationships. And then in your work life, the intuitive word is new energy in your work life, allowing yourselves to have new perspectives, new vibrational understanding of what your work life is doing for you, understanding that you and your higher self agreed to the work that you do for a reason at this time in your life, and finding ways to be conscious of that and to find new ways of looking at your work life so that you can really feel at one with it and in harmony with it and grateful for what it brings you. And then in your family life, I got the word prepare. Now, this is really important because we are entering the holiday season. We are entering a lot of connections with our family that can be traditional or can be more rigid than we maybe want to experience, or more 3D than even we may want to experience. And so it's super important before we hit the holiday season to prepare for some of that duality between you and your family, some of those connections that you may have, or some of those traditions that you might not resonate with anymore, and find ways to prepare yourself in how you're going to set boundaries with your family, how you're going to maybe excuse yourself from eating non-vegan food, or whatever it is that you are knowing you're going to be up against in family experiences. Just start preparing. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad holiday season. It just means that it's important to mentally start thinking about how you want to experience this holiday season with your family, so that you can appropriately prepare mind, body, and spirit for those interactions. And then in our spiritual life, the intuitive word is rise. We are rising, rising, rising higher and higher in our vibration, in our consciousness, and in our connection with our spirit. So continue allowing yourself to see ways in which you are rising spiritually and how to continue that momentum upward. There is a lot of energy to tap into with that. So let yourself and your own intuition guide you on how to rise and raise your vibration for your spiritual connections. Okay, so that's my spirit messages. I'm going to go into astrology in just a bit, but let's see how you all are doing with all of these beautiful messages. And let's see, I've got Maria's here. So glad I made it to the live. Loving this. Good to see you, Maria. Danielle is here, saying just flow with it. Absolutely. Linda is talking about the retrograde. She said, this retrograde is coming at the wrong time to travel. I've realized I don't value myself to the full unlimited potential. Always thought it would be considered I would be considered conceited, so now I have old patterns of thoughts and I am enough. Yes, so really understanding the ways in which traveling outside of your comfort zone and traveling just in general can really bring you into awareness of what you need to do and how you need to perceive yourself so that you can feel more confident. And then Leslie says, happy Sunday and happy soul family. Yes, so good to have you here. And Jasmine said to Linda to give her some more comfort there. 3 things: trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. Yes, absolutely. Reject those old thought patterns and replace it with affirmations of already having it all. Absolutely. And Ilcast is here. Hi, Rissa, just joining. Hello, good to see you. Growth is where it starts, says hello, family. Charisma says, hi, beautiful. And Ilka says, thanks for the message about prepare, even preparing for encountering those thoughts, social conscious, and working through them. Absolutely. Preparing for the mental blocks or preparing for the mental awarenesses that you might run into is also so important, because when we prepare and then we end up having those experiences, we're more prepared to navigate through them, of course. So it becomes a conscious understanding, and it also integrates into your subconscious as well, so that you kind of naturally just respond in more of those appropriate ways. So preparing is essential. Okay, let's get into astrology real quick. Not too many here, but we want to tap into a couple of the astrological influences. This week on Tuesday, November 5th, it's all about bigger picture perspectives. Venus is connecting with Uranus at 150 degrees, and it's encouraging us to feel eager and excited and fun about our excitement and our change, our expansion, our evolution and change, our ability to feel our environments and circumstances around us and to adapt more easily. Finding harmony with ourselves in the environments and circumstance we find ourselves in, knowing that it's not the end of uncomfortable experience, but if we can learn how to adapt, then we can start to be more mastered at it. We can start to be more prepared for it. We can start to feel more confident in adapting to any experience. This is also a day where we are encouraged to try new things as well and to continue that excitement and unfolding. Mars squares Pluto on Tuesday, so that's going to help us feel more disciplined and more in control. Make sure that you don't overly control things or try to overly analyze like we talked about, or try to overly control people. This controlling energy can sometimes seep into some shadow aspects. So make sure that you channel that and control into controlling what you know you can, into your thoughts, into your emotions, into your reactions to things, and your actions for positive change. Internally and externally, there will be some power struggles that come up, especially since we have that Mercury retrograde. So allow yourselves to just start to expect that and start to integrate that now and prepare for it now, so that it's easier to tap into and not be so surrendered to when it happens. Use love and compassion to balance and channel that energy into dedicated ambitions and dedicated action for the spiritual ambitions that you have set forth for yourself as well, and this weekend. So this is going to be a great energy to use for your positive transformations. Hey Kiwi, good to see you. I see you joining. Thank you. All right, so also it's important to know too that Mars and Pluto are ruled by Scorpio, and we're in Scorpio Sun right now, so feeling into that heavy Scorpio energy. It's a good energy, but it can be emotional, and it can be really encouraging us to step into those levels of uncomfortability and into those mysteries of the unknown. So just know that we're not going to be, we're not done with the mysteries yet, so don't get too pressed for all of the answers, and just be patient in that way. And then on Friday, the last astrological event that I'll cover is Friday the 8th, and it's all about manifestation with discipline. Saturn and Neptune are at a triangle right now, and on this day on Friday. So we're going to feel all of these energies combining and showing us a lot about ourselves. Saturn sextiling Neptune gives us more spiritual activations to tap into, and it also boosts our financial flow, which will be great for all of us. And then we're going to find a lot of time to go within as well on Friday. With Mercury retrograde's help, really being able to understand our own communications, our own misunderstandings, and becoming comfortable with our own progress, our own processes in communication and in unfolding spiritually. Our higher mind is processing a lot of responsibilities with this triangle as well. And then we're going to be feeling even more energy with the Sun trining Neptune. Our intuition, our intuitive action, our spirituality increasing, our connection and our service to others amplifying in tons of ways. This is also going to give us more dreams and more dream insights and intuitive insights to tap into. So expect even more symbolism in dreams and heightened awareness of the astral realm. And just another real quick reminder, November alignment is crucial right now. So really finding ways to align in November before the year's end. Get in harmony with things that you need to find harmony with. Allow yourself to take initiative before the new year, to clear the things that don't serve you, to get in harmony with the things that you want to manifest for 2020. Start early. Everybody talks about New Year's resolutions, and it starts right at the new year. Why not start earlier than that? Why not prepare and allow yourself to start harmonizing with who you want to be and who you are becoming for the end of this year, so that you can move into 2020 with this beautiful connection to your intuition and a divine awareness of it all. So let's go ahead and pull some cards to end this reading. I told you it would be pretty short and sweet today, which is great. It's starting to rain anyway, so I don't know if the connection will stay too stable for it. So let me go ahead and pull some cards. Everybody take a few deep breaths just to get into your own energy, to your own meditative place and state as I pull some cards for the beginning of the week. We've got the Spirit Messages deck here for the first card pull. Oh, not that one, not yet. So being patient, just like the cards, just like the Spirit Messages said, being patient for the unfolding. There it is. Beginning of the week card, middle of the week, Angels of Atlantis coming forth with some cosmic energy, tapping into some of that Earth Force energy that we pulled from this month in November. And reminding yourselves to just feel free to ask the cards a question. Maybe they will reveal a message for you specifically that will help you in whatever your card. The end of week card from the Healing with the Angels deck with Doreen Virtue, connecting with these cards for the end of the week. Hey, they all came up so quick for us. Okay, first card. Obviously, so important, intuitive nudges. We are feeling the intuitive nudges of this week and of the week. We really activated our intuition in so many ways last week, and we're moving into our experience by integrating all of those intuitive messages and receiving even more intuitive nudges to guide our way. This card says, intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and to our divine spirit. So listen to your intuitive nudges. I love that third eye activation here in this card as well. And just trust them, and it will show you in the beginning of the week. Middle of the week card, beautiful card by Zafikiel, Archangel Zafikiel, Ecstasy. This is experiencing this bliss, this expansion of our spirit, this ability to feel that 5D consciousness and to maintain it, and to feel really dedicated and disciplined in our consciousness of really maintaining that energy, really committing to it and doing the work to do so, and going within and staying blissful, staying full of love and compassion, and staying in that sense of ecstasy and exploration of all of the things that make us happy, all of the positive transformations that we are experiencing right now, giving us even more bliss to tap into for the middle of the week. And then the very last card, healing at the end of the week. We are coming full circle with healing at the end of the week, allowing us to feel healed, rejuvenated, and to notice any other things that we haven't been able to heal from, let go of, that doesn't serve us, so that we can truly move into 2020 towards the end of this year, allowing us to feel a new level of healing and to feel completely healed from what we need to this year. So lots of great experiences, great cards. And Alona says, the rain sounds so wonderful. Yes, it's so cool. It's coming in spurts here, so it's beautiful. And anything to prepare for already now before 11/11, Eric says. Great question. 11/11 is all about alignment with our spirit and complete harmony with who we are and how we are moving forward. So the best advice I can give you for that is to stay meditative, to stay working in your practice, your daily practices, your morning practices, to keep you in that space of soul solitude and that space of soul alignment. Anything that you can do to align yourself, whether it be exercise, meditation, breath work, intuitive readings for yourself, allowing yourselves to stay in alignment so that once that 11/11 portal comes around next week, that you will have all of the tools necessary to keep tapping into your spirit and getting the guidance that you need from it. I'm also going to be posting about the 11/11 portal next week as well. We'll be doing our weekly card reading on the 10th, so I will be going over all of the 11/11 portal energies next week, next Sunday at 1:11 p.m. Central Time as usual. And next week I'll be back at home in Arizona, so soak up all of this beautiful greenery behind me while you can. Let me see if there's anybody else's questions. Okay, good. Everybody's good. Hey, Hedwig, good to see you. It's good to have you here. And yes, welcome everyone. Thank you, Cosmic Consciousness, for joining as well. Linda asked, how did a spider get into my sleeping quarters? Well, we're in the jungle, so I'll just say that. We are literally in the jungle, so it's kind of impossible to avoid certain little creepy crawlies, but we found harmony with them and they're beautiful. We didn't kill anything that we didn't feel like we needed to. We did kill a scorpion and I kind of felt bad about it, but we really stayed harmonious with nature as much as possible, and it was really beautiful to not be afraid of the spiders and the other animals out here and to just find harmony, because once you let go of fear and you start to understand their purpose, instead of just wanting to squash a bug because you see it, but understanding that the bug's not actually coming towards you or trying to hurt you, was really nice, and it allowed us to feel this really strong connection with animal spirits as well. So I always encourage people, don't kill spiders or any other bugs that you know aren't trying to bring you harm. Just try to trap them and move them out of your sleeping quarters or out of your living quarters, so that you can really feel at one with that and not feel like you just ended a life for no reason. So yeah, I think that's it, you guys. A couple of announcements. Like I said, I'm back from Belize tomorrow evening. Today is my last day here, so anybody that's been itching for a reading or been wanting to do a one-on-one with me, feel free to reach out. I will be able to start scheduling one-on-ones again and start tapping in with all of you again tomorrow evening after I get back. So feel free to message me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, or Instagram @readingsbyrissa. And then I'm also launching a interactive coaching program, and I am so excited to bring that forth for you. I'm going to be launching it with all the details next week, so I will be telling you all about it then. But there's 3 options available. It's going to include tons of one-on-one calls with me, tons of weeks of development of your spirit, and also lots of meditations guided by me to help you tap in even deeper. And it's going to be teaching you all about metaphysics, law of attraction, spirituality, intuition development, understanding energy flow, and law of the universe. So tons of things that we're going to cover, plus much more. So I'm super excited to launch that next week with you. And then that's it. That's it. So I'm just here to say goodbye from Belize and goodbye to Belize because I've had such a great experience here. I've met such soul family here. I've had such amazing downloads and connections and evolution of my spirit. And I've watched all of the people who showed up for this retreat grow right before my eyes in such amazing ways, positive transformations left and right, and I'm just so blessed to be here, and I will be back here soon for another retreat. So if you're interested in coming to the next retreat, please also email me readingsbyrissa@gmail.com, and I will give you the info as soon as I have it all sorted out. I love you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Feel free to watch the replay of this live anytime this week for more reminders and to share with friends who need this information. I love you so much. Have a good one. Peace.